My husband spent $400 on groceries this week, but our fridge was empty every morning. I caught my husband sneaking out at 3 in the morning with 4 bags of groceries we couldn't afford, and what I discovered made me question everything about our marriage. Our 10-year-old daughter was crying at breakfast again because there was literally nothing to eat except stale crackers. That's when I checked our banking app and nearly threw my phone across the kitchen. Another $127 grocery charge had hit our account overnight, the third one this week. We'd hemorrhaged $1,600 on food this month, but our kids were basically starving. My chest got tight with panic because rent was due in 5 days, and we had maybe $200 left. When Malik came downstairs, I shoved my phone in his face. My voice was already climbing toward hysteria. He mumbled something about inflation and growing kids eating more, which was complete bull because our kids are tiny and eat like birds. His whole body language screamed guilt, shoulders hunched, avoiding my eyes, fidgeting with his wedding ring like he always does when he's lying. Later that morning while he showered, I ransacked his car and found grocery receipts stuffed everywhere. Milk, eggs, bread, canned goods, pasta, enough food to feed an army, except our pantry looked like we were living through the apocalypse. Then later that night, I pretended to take a sleeping pill, but actually lay there with my eyes closed, waiting. Sure enough, at 3 in the morning, I heard him creeping around downstairs. Through a crack in our bedroom door, I watched him load up reusable bags with everything edible in our house. The organic eggs I'd just bought, the whole milk our daughter needs for her bones, the expensive bread without preservatives, even the soup I was saving for lunches. He slipped out the back door like some kind of midnight food bandit, and I wanted to scream. The next night, I faked being asleep again but followed him into the freezing darkness. He walked 3 blocks at 3:30 in the morning, hauling 4 heavy bags, constantly looking behind him like a paranoid drug dealer. My brain went to the darkest places immediately. Secret family, gambling debt to dangerous people, selling our food for drug money. I watched him walk into an apartment complex and let himself into an apartment with his own key. Apartment 2B, I burned it into my memory while my marriage crumbled in real time. I stayed patient with 3 nights of this torture, watching him disappear into that apartment with our children's food while we scraped by on school lunches and water. On night 4, I lost it completely and confronted him outside our house while he left with the bags. His face went ghost white when he saw me standing by his car, shaking with rage. "How could you?" I hissed, but he just kept saying, "Please let me explain," over and over, which made me even angrier because cheaters always want to explain. I stormed toward apartment 2B, ready to meet whatever mistress or loan shark was destroying my family, but an elderly woman opened the door, and she burst into tears the second she saw my husband. "Thank God," she sobbed in accented English, clutching his arm. "I thought maybe something happened to you." Her apartment was basically empty except for the food he had brought, organized neatly in her tiny kitchen. She was skin and bones, maybe 80 pounds soaking wet. That's when her son crashed through the door, clearly wasted, immediately attacking this poor woman. "Where's my money?" he screamed at her, grabbing her purse, dumping it out, searching for cash. He kept yelling that her social security was his because he was her only family, that she owed him for being born. This piece of garbage was stealing $1,400 every single month from his own mother, leaving her to literally starve. Turns out he discovered this 3 months ago, when this little old lady collapsed at the grocery store where he worked nights stocking shelves, a job I didn't even know he'd taken. She'd been trying to shoplift a can of beans, and instead of calling security, he'd back to her home and found her kitchen completely bare. He'd been feeding her ever since with groceries he bought using his night shift money, but when that wasn't enough, he started taking from our own supplies. While the son ranted about his rights to her money, I called 911 and reported elder abuse in progress. The cops arrived in 8 minutes and arrested him on the spot after the old lady finally found the courage to tell them everything. Adult Protective Services came that morning and assigned her a new financial guardian plus emergency food assistance. Malik sobbed the entire walk home, apologizing for lying but explaining he couldn't watch her starve while waiting for the system to work. Our bank account was destroyed and our kids had gone hungry, but seeing this man I married literally saving an old woman's life made me fall in love with him all over again.